Imagine a home where the loudest sound at dinner is laughter instead of notifications. For many of us, that image feels distant, almost nostalgic, like a memory from another lifetime that slips through our fingers whenever the screen lights up again. There was a time when the dinner table was not just a place for food, but a place for stories, guidance, comfort, and the small daily rituals that quietly shaped who we became. Families gathered without distraction, passing plates, sharing victories, confessing fears, and discovering that the ordinary moments of life were actually the ones that mattered most. Today, glowing rectangles have slowly taken the seat once reserved for eye contact, and silence often replaces conversation even when everyone is physically present. You may not have noticed the shift all at once because it happened quietly, one notification at a time, one quick check at a time, one harmless scroll that turned into a habit we barely question anymore. Yet something inside us still recognizes the emptiness that follows a meal eaten together, but not truly shared. The wisdom often echoed in the teachings of Dr. Grandpa Henry reminds us that connection is not built in grand dramatic moments, but in the steady rhythm of simple traditions repeated with love. Research has begun to confirm what older generations already knew in their hearts, showing that regular family meals strengthen emotional bonds, improve communication, and even boost mental well-being. But beyond the data and statistics lies a deeper truth that cannot be measured on a chart. When people sit together without devices, they create a sacred pause in a busy world, a protected space where time slows down and attention becomes a gift rather than a luxury. In that space, children learn how to listen and how to be heard, adults rediscover patience, and the invisible threads of belonging are quietly repaired. Still, there is a question hanging in the air that many people avoid asking. What have we lost while gaining constant connection to everything else? The answer may feel uncomfortable because it asks us to look honestly at our habits and admit that convenience has replaced intention. Somewhere along the way, dinners became shorter, conversations became shallower, and the warm center of the home began to fade into the background of endless digital noise. Yet beneath that noise, the human need for togetherness has never disappeared. It waits patiently for an invitation, for a moment of courage, for someone to say that tonight will be different. And as you sit with this idea, you may begin to sense a quiet realization forming, a realization that the change we long for does not require perfection, but it does require a decision. What if the simple act of putting every phone away for 1 hour could begin to rewrite the future of your family in ways you cannot yet see, shaping memories that will echo long after tonight's plates are cleared and the lights go out for generations to come? There is a moment that often arrives quietly, usually after the plates are cleared and the room grows still, when people realize how rarely they have truly looked at one another. It is a realization that feels both gentle and unsettling, because it reveals how easily connection can slip away while everyone believes they are still close. Families today spend more hours under the same roof than ever before, yet the emotional distance between them can grow wider with every passing week. The glow of a screen promises entertainment, convenience, and endless information, but it also creates a barrier that is nearly invisible until someone dares to turn it off. In the teachings inspired by Dr. Grandpa Henry, there is a powerful reminder that attention is the purest form of love, and wherever attention flows, relationships grow stronger or weaker. When attention is scattered across notifications, messages, and endless feeds, the people sitting just inches away can begin to feel miles apart. Research has shown that even the presence of a phone on the table, untouched and silent, can reduce the depth of conversation and the feeling of closeness between people. That tiny device sends a subtle signal that something else might be more important, more urgent, or more interesting than the person in front of us. Over time, those small signals accumulate, quietly reshaping how families interact without anyone noticing the shift. Children may stop sharing details about their day because they sense only partial attention. Partners may speak less because they feel conversations are rushed or interrupted. Parents may believe they are present simply because they are physically nearby, unaware that emotional presence requires something far more intentional. The suspense lies in recognizing how long this pattern can continue before someone asks whether the cost has become too high. It is not a dramatic loss that announces itself loudly, but a gradual fading of warmth, curiosity, and shared laughter. The danger is not that families stop loving each other, but that they slowly stop experiencing that love in real time. Yet within this realization lives a powerful opportunity, because awareness opens the door to change. The moment a family chooses to protect one meal each week from digital interruption, they begin to reclaim a tradition that once defined the heart of the home. At first, the silence may feel awkward, and conversations may stumble as everyone adjusts to a slower rhythm. But discomfort is often the first sign that something meaningful is happening. With time, questions become easier, stories grow longer, and laughter returns in unexpected bursts. A simple table becomes a place where memories are created instead of missed, and the ordinary act of sharing food transforms into an anchor that steadies everyone in a rapidly moving world. Change rarely begins with grand gestures, and it almost never requires perfection to take root. It begins with a single evening when someone decides that the table will be more than a surface for plates, that it will become a place where presence is protected and time is treated as a treasure instead of a leftover. At first, the idea of a device-free dinner may seem small compared to the endless demands of modern life, yet its impact can ripple outward in ways that are impossible to predict. When families gather without screens, they begin to rediscover the art of noticing the details that once slipped past unnoticed. They see the subtle expressions that reveal how someone truly feels, hear the tone behind the words that tells a deeper story, and learn again how to sit with silence without rushing to fill it. These moments become quiet investments in trust, patience, and emotional safety, building a foundation that supports relationships during both joyful seasons and difficult storms. The wisdom associated with Dr. Grandpa Henry reminds us that traditions are the invisible architecture of strong families, shaping values not through lectures, but through repeated experience. A weekly dinner without devices becomes more than a rule. It becomes a promise that no matter how busy life becomes, there will always be a space reserved for connection. Over time, that promise begins to transform the atmosphere of the home in subtle yet powerful ways. Children grow up remembering the laughter around the table, the stories shared over simple meals, and the feeling that their voices mattered enough to be heard without distraction. Adults discover that these gatherings offer a rare pause, a chance to step away from the constant pressure of productivity and simply exist together. The beauty of this tradition is that it does not demand elaborate preparation or perfect conversations. It only asks for presence, patience, and the courage to begin. As weeks turn into months, the table slowly reclaims its place as the heart of the home, beating steadily with conversation, curiosity, and shared understanding. The memories created there become anchors that hold families together through the changing seasons of life, long after the meals themselves are forgotten. What once felt like a small decision becomes a defining habit, proving that the simplest traditions often carry the greatest power. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.